In the late 60s, a young Freddie Mercury was a student at Ealing Art College, scribbling down ideas for a new song on scraps of paper. Little did he know, that song would go on to become one of the greatest rock songs of all time, Bohemian Rhapsody.
As the 70s dawned, Queen's guitarist Brian May got a glimpse of the masterpiece that would become Bohemian Rhapsody. Freddie referred to it as the cowboy song, perhaps because of the line, "Mama just killed a man."
May recalls, "I remember Freddie coming in with loads of bits of paper from his dad's work, like post-it notes, and pounding on the piano. He played the piano like most people play the drums, and this song he had was full of gaps where he explained that something operatic would happen here and so on."
He'd worked out the harmonies in his head with Mercury's vision and the band's musicianship. Bohemian Rhapsody would go on to become one of the most iconic and enduring songs in rock history.
Mercury shared his idea with his bandmates, telling them that he believed he had enough material for about 3 songs, but was considering blending all the lyrics into one epic, long song. His bandmates were skeptical, but they trusted in Mercury's vision and decided to give it a try. The result was nothing short of extraordinary. The final product, a 6-minute mini-rock opera, became the band's defining song, and it stood the test of time, still beloved by fans decades later. This iconic song even provided the title for the hit 2019 biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody, which starred Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury. The movie brought the story of Queen and the creation of Bohemian Rhapsody to a new generation of fans and cemented the song's place in rock and roll history. The creative risk taken by Mercury and the band paid off and became a legend song in the music history. The recording of Bohemian Rhapsody was an ambitious and innovative process. Queen first properly rehearsed the song at Ridge Farm Studio in Surrey in mid-1975, and then spent 3 weeks perfecting it at Penrose Court in Herefordshire.
The recording of Bohemian Rhapsody was an ambitious and innovative process. Queen first properly rehearsed the song at Ridge Farm Studio in Surrey in mid-1975, and then spent 3 weeks perfecting it at Penrose Court in Herefordshire.
The recording of the song was a multifaceted process that embraced everything from glam metal rock to opera. A week was devoted to the opera section alone, for which Mercury had methodically written out all the harmony parts. For the grand chorale, the band layered 160 tracks of vocal overdubs, using 24-track analog recording. Mercury sang the middle register, May sang the low register, and drummer Roger Taylor sang the high register, while John Deacon played bass guitar but did not sing. Mercury performed with real verve, overdubbing his voice until it sounded like a chorus, with the words "Mamma Mia," "Galileo," and "Figaro" bouncing up and down the octaves. May said, "We ran the tape through so many times it kept wearing out. Once we held the tape up to the light and we could see straight through it, the music had practically vanished. Every time Fred decided to add a few more Galileos, we lost something too. It perfect." But when the final version was done, it was clear that the hard work was worth it as the song became an all-time classic. The references in Bohemian Rhapsody are as varied and imaginative as the song itself. One of the most notable references is the mention of Galileo in the lyrics, which is said to have been included as a nod to Queen guitarist Brian May, who had a passion for astronomy and would later go on to earn a PhD in astrophysics. The song also features many other interesting references. Scaramouche is a buffoonish character in 16th century commedia dell'arte shows. Bismillah is taken from the Quran and means "in the name of Allah." Beelzebub is an archaic name for the devil. Despite the depth of these references, the true meaning of the lyrics of Bohemian Rhapsody remains a mystery. Freddie Mercury never publicly explained the meaning of the lyrics, and only shared their meaning with his close friends and bandmates, who have chosen not to reveal the meaning behind it. May said, "Freddie was a very complex person, flippant and funny on the surface, but he concealed insecurities and problems in squaring up his life with his childhood. He never explained the lyrics, but I think he put a lot of himself into that song." Regardless of the specific meaning, the lyrics of Bohemian Rhapsody remain timeless, resonating with audiences and inspiring interpretation and speculation for decades. After the final version of Bohemian Rhapsody was completed, following some refinements at different recording studios, there was a sense among everyone involved that Queen had created something truly special. Default text. The producer of the song, Roy Thomas Baker, said, "I was standing at the back of the control room, and you just knew that you were listening for the first time to a big page in history. Something inside me told me that this was a red-letter day, and it really was." The song was finally released on October 31, 1975, as part of the album A Night at the Opera. The impact was immediate, with other musicians like Björn Ulvaeus of ABBA expressing envy for its sheer originality and impact on rock and pop music. The band's record company was initially hesitant to release Bohemian Rhapsody as a single. The song exceeded the typical 3-minute running time for most single releases, and the company was uncertain of its commercial potential. But Queen was convinced it was the right choice, and eventually the company agreed. Despite the record company doubts, it was helped by the airplay from Capital Radio DJ Kenny Everett, a friend of Mercury's, who played it 14 times in one weekend and started the buzz that eventually ended with the single going to number 1 in the charts. It became a massive commercial success, making it one of the best-selling songs of all time, and it has become an enduring classic. Its influence can be heard in countless songs that followed it. It was a risk for Queen, but it ended up being the greatest song of their career and one of the greatest songs of all time. In addition to the song's release, Queen also commissioned a groundbreaking music video to accompany Bohemian Rhapsody. They hired director Bruce Gowers to shoot the video, which cost £3,500 and was filmed in just 3 hours at Elstree Studios. The video featured the band recreating their iconic pose from the cover of their Queen II album and featured striking multi-angle shots of Freddie Mercury, who struck his favorite Marlene Dietrich pose. The band had fun making the video, and Gowers remembered, "We started at 7:30, finished at 10:30 and were in the pub 15 minutes later." On November 20, 1975, the video for Bohemian Rhapsody premiered on the popular UK music show Top of the Pops, and it generated huge media and public interest. The band watched the premiere from their hotel room in Taunton. The song quickly became a hit in the US, becoming the band's first top 10 hit, and in UK, it went to number 1 for 9 consecutive weeks. This was a record at the time, even holding off a novelty hit, The Trail of the Lonesome Pine, which had to settle for the number 2 spot. Bohemian Rhapsody is still the only song to have topped the UK charts twice at Christmas. It was also the first Queen single to be released with a picture sleeve in the UK. The B-side of the single was drummer Roger Taylor's I'm in Love with My Car. The groundbreaking video, paired with the enduring and iconic song, helped to further solidify Bohemian Rhapsody as a touchstone in the world of music and cemented the band's legacy as one of the greatest bands of all time. Shows after its debut on the A Night at the Opera tour of 1975. The song earned Mercury an Ivor Novello Award for songwriting, and it's been a staple in the band's live shows ever since. It opened their celebrated set at Live Aid in 1985, and it remained incredibly popular. In 2004, the song was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame, and Mercury's vocal performance was named by Rolling Stone readers as the best in rock history. Bohemian Rhapsody is the third best-selling single of all time in the UK, and in December 2018, it was officially proclaimed the world's most streamed song of the 20th century, with over 1.6 billion listens globally across all major streaming services, surpassing Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit. On July 21, 2019, the video surpassed 1 billion views on YouTube. In 2021, it was certified diamond by the RIAA. Mercury once said, "It is one of those songs which has such a fantasy feel about it. I think people should just listen to it, think about it, and then make up their own minds as to what it says to them." And that's exactly what fans have been doing for decades, interpreting the song in their own ways, and it's become a cultural phenomenon. The legacy of Bohemian Rhapsody goes beyond just a hit song. It's become a part of popular culture, a timeless classic that continues to resonate with audiences of all ages and has cemented Queen's place in rock and roll history.